The reigning champion is in studio. The head coach of Fresno State, Jeff Tedford, has joined us. A lot to get to, Coach. And I'll start with this. Shaun can attest to this. Probably you are a slightly bigger fan, but after you, there may be no bigger Jake Haener fan in this world than me. So I love the guy. I loved just how he played and all the way to the championship last year, but he's not there anymore. So how's the quarterback position looking in 2023 for Fresno State?
Yeah, we'll miss Jake for sure. You know, he's a pretty special guy, but we have some really good competition. You know, we have a guy named Mikey Keene who transferred from Central Florida, Logan Fife, who played when Jake got hurt last year, and so he got some really valuable experience and went 2-2 for us. So been in our program for a while, so there's familiarity there. Both really good leaders, you know, so we'll see. You know, we'll go through camp and find out, you know, who separates themselves and who gets the keys of the car.
You know, it's interesting. Everybody mentions replacing the quarterback, but you also lost your top two wide receivers and your leading rusher. Offensively, I know there's some guys that are going to get an opportunity. Who do you think is going to emerge to kind of replace that production?
No, you're right, Shaun. We lost 2,000 yards of receiving production, and then our tailback as well, who rushed for 1,400 yards. So that's a lot of offense gone, but I think we've recruited well. We have some guys coming back that have been in the program that played some roles for us last year, so they'll step up a little bit. But then we went out and got into the portal and got a couple receivers there, and JC. You know, we went portal and JC to try to get some experience with those guys that have left.
Now, it's interesting. You're the defending Mountain West Conference champ, but I like to look at the process, not just the end result. Kalen DeBoer leaves to get the Washington job. You step in, but you start 1-4. What was the conversation like in week 6 that kind of got you guys reset, refocused, and put you on that streak where you ended up winning 9 straight?
Yeah, it was, you know, we really didn't lose faith and trust in what we were doing. We lost a tough game at Oregon State on the last play of the game. Jake got hurt at the USC game, you know, and so and we were picked to win the conference, a lot of expectation and all that. But I remember walking in on that Sunday after we were 1-4 and said the Mountain West champions are sitting right here in this room. And then we went on a run, and then Jake came back, but we just took it really 1 week at a time. And I know that's a cliche, but we really did do that. I mean, we talked about, there's a Winston Churchill quote, it's a mistake to look too far ahead. The chain of destiny is accomplished one link at a time. And we really took it one link at a time and went on a 9-game winning streak, and it's third longest streak in the country right now. And so now we got to keep it going. That's over.
Jeff Tedford, head coach of Fresno State, joining us here in studio. Like many of your brethren in the Mountain West, you hit the road and you test yourselves right out of the chute. You go on the road to West Lafayette, changing of the guard there. They've got a new head coach, but you know, a couple weeks after that, you go on the road to Arizona State. You know, we had Coach Brennan in from San Jose State, you know, earlier in the show. You look around your entire conference, Coach. You guys test yourselves. It's kind of, you know, we talk about Boise State. Boise State opens up at Washington. So you've been at Fresno, you know, 2 different stints for quite some time. Is that just kind of the mentality of not only Fresno, but also this just entire conference to go out and test and see who you guys really are?
Yeah, I think in the Mountain West, we play great football in the Mountain West, but I think you only get recognized if you do put yourself out there. You know, play against the other conferences, get your national brand going. I think that helped. You know, if you can be successful, it's going to give you a little boost in the rankings. And then, you know, so I think it's important to play those type of games.
It's interesting, too, because playing Purdue and Arizona State this year is probably easier than playing them last year. Purdue had Aiden O'Connell. You know, Arizona State's, you know, making some transition at quarterback as well. Fresno's always kind of been known nationally as a hotbed of offensive talent. You go back to Trent Dilfer. You have the Carr brothers,
Jeff
Devontae
Tedford.
Adams, Jeff Tedford. Like, I mean,
yeah.
You guys have had a lot of offensive talent, yet it seems, at least on the surface, this year's team may be led by the defense. 2 great defensive backs, Carlton Johnson, Cameron Lockridge. Is that side ready to step up if necessary and kind of carry the team until some of that inexperience on offense kind of gains it?
I think it really is. You know, it's really important to play complementary football, right? But our defense really improved throughout the year last year. I think we became familiar with one another. We're much more experienced. When we hit camp in 2 weeks, we're going to start much further ahead than we did the year ago. A lot of experience. We improved so much our tackling. We started getting turnovers toward the end of the year. First part of the year, we had no turnovers. We did not gain any turnovers, right? And so then we really started pressing the dial about tackling and about creating turnovers. And that seems when it all switched. And our guys are experienced. They play really well together. Our defensive staff is awesome, so a lot of continuity there, a lot of confidence in how they ended the year. And now it's our job just to take it the next step further.
Jeff Tedford hanging with us here in studio, head coach of Fresno State as they get the season going Labor Day weekend at Purdue. We have the preseason poll. We just showed the graphic. The reigning champs, number 3, so maybe a little motivation there, no respect. But you knew it, right? When you went to that JUCO to go get Aaron Rodgers, you said, that guy right there, I'm telling you, he's going to win 4 MVPs and is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And a Super Bowl.
And a Super Bowl. You knew it all along, right, Coach? You were the genius that saw the forget the Packers drafted him, when they drafted him. It was you.
Yeah.
It all started with you.
Absolutely. No, that's a funny story because I was actually watching a tight end. I was looking at the tight end on tape, and I'm kind of watching the quarterback run. I'm like, who's a quarterback, and he'd only played 1 year in junior college, but he was a qualifier, so he was able to come out. We had to buy that next week. I drove to Chico to watch Butte practice. It was so evident, besides Aaron's physical skills, just the way he led the whole thing. I'm on the sideline talking to the coach, and he's running the whole practice, and so he's a pretty special guy. And obviously when he came I talked to him on the way home that day, recruited him, he came. The rest is history. He did a great job for us and one of the best that ever played the game.
It's amazing that guys like Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen could kind of fall through the recruiting cracks and end up at JUCO, kind of going unnoticed.
He was at Cal, excuse me. But, I'm just thinking back to the 04 Cal team.
They were good.
What kind of discussions were going on in that locker room? Because, we've gotten to see now this unique personality that Marshawn Lynch has become, right? He's this revelation. What was he like as a young, teenager, early 20s? Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch together in a locker room, 2 of the most unique personalities now, in the world of football.
Yeah, I knew Marshawn back when we recruited him in high school. He had a fro and these black corner rim glasses with electrical tape holding them together, right? And so, but when he got to Cal, there's not a better teammate than Marshawn Lynch. The dude has a heart as big as you could imagine, right? And his teammates loved him. And just a freak on the field, for sure. The guy could do some special things. And so I'm really happy for his success, not just on the field, but what he's done, the brand he's created for himself. Pretty special. It's when you look at Marshawn, he takes a lot of pride in his hometown and being from Oakland. He never wanted to be separated from that. He didn't want to be the guy that came to Cal and be this educated guy that separated himself from Oakland, or go to the NFL and be this guy that didn't appreciate where his roots were, and he continues to be that to this day. I give him a lot of credit for being the guy who is and standing strong with his beliefs and where he's from.
Yeah, Marshawn lives here in Las Vegas. The big question, what was the punishment when he commandeered the golf cart and was riding around the field, making people scramble at a frenetic pace?
By the way, we only got a minute, Coach, because I had this written down too. It was after an overtime win against Washington. Is that right?
Yeah, overtime win. We ran a sweep to the left at a 3-by-1. He scored. And I'm going over shaking the hands, and all of a sudden I see him rolling around a golf cart. I thought it was pretty funny. I'm like, until the AD called me the next day and ripped my butt about it, like we had planned it, right? Like, don't let him do that. Okay, so Marshawn, just don't do that anymore, right?
He is all about that action.
Before we let you go, 30 seconds left, Coach. Considering everything you lost, Jake Haener may be arguably one of the top 3 players Fresno history. What does success look like for this year's team?
Work hard to reach our full potential every day. I think we have the people to do it. We have a great coaching staff, great place to play, great support in town. Our kids are blue-collar, hard work, and they love football. They love playing football. So you come to Fresno, you bring your lunch pail.
The Valley.
The Valley at Purdue to open things up September 2nd, and then conference play gets going against Nevada September 30th. The reigning champs, Fresno State. Coach, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.